Well, I've done 500 miles now, just clocked 500 miles in the Range Rover, and this is what I found so far. So in the previous video you saw me buy this Range Rover at auction for my challenge against Jamie, the car dealing legend at Car Key. We set ourselves a maximum budget of 15 grand. To buy a Range Rover, it had to be an L405, and then we're going to meet up and an independent specialist is going to decide who bought the best car. Now, as I explained in my previous video too, I did score a bargain of a one with 130,000 miles on a 2014 for 7 grand, but due to a load of silliness, I actually had to give the car back. So then went on to auction to BCA and bought this Range Rover here, which you saw unloaded in the last video. If you haven't, you might want to go back and watch that previous video. I'd do something clever to link you to it, but I don't have enough time, so just go back into my back catalogue. Anyway, what we ended up buying was a 2016 L405 with 107,000 miles on with the 3-litre V6. Why the drama over the 3-litre V6? Because it is well renowned for snapping its crank. Most people will recommend you buy the 4.4, which is what Jamie has bought, so he might be ahead of me there. But there was a reason for me getting the 3-litre, and that's because I plan on dailying this car myself to replace my old L405 in the background over there, which only ever managed to get me about 24 to the gallon. You will see from the filth around this car, since it was delivered, I have done a lot of miles on it so that I could do you a decent video on what I think I've ended up buying and why it might have been part exchanged. Now, the advantage for me on the 3-litre V6 was, I know the engine, I've had it in a couple of other cars before, and this car, I also straight away, is amazing me with its fuel economy. I went up to see my good friend Joe from Shifting Metal the other day and got 40 miles to the gallon, doing the normal kind of speeds I do on the motorway there. So that absolutely blew me away that I get 40 miles to the gallon out of a Range Rover. Brilliant. Now already there'll be people in the comments going, if you can't afford the MPG on a Range Rover, you shouldn't buy an MPG. I don't buy into all that bull. A brand new Range Rover, there's a lot of people say if you can't afford a brand new Range Rover, you shouldn't get a used one. A brand new Range Rover is 120 grand. If you've got, say, a budget of 20 grand for a Range Rover and you spend 15 grand on one and put 5 grand away to one side to cover bills, you'll be doing okay. That doesn't mean you've got the budget to go and buy a car for 120 grand. So for me, fuel economy was a factor. Also, I only paid £360 to tax the car, because yes, I've taxed it because I am going to be using it daily. So the reason for going for the 3-litre is I wanted to have a Range Rover that was as affordable to run as they can be, and also part of this channel is about testing a lot of the stuff you hear out there about engines. I went straight down to see a guy who knows about these Range Rovers and said, look, how often is it happening? He says it does happen, but it's because they've got narrow oilways and they get clogged up too much. So he said, make sure you're using good quality diesel, make sure you're putting in additives, and make sure that you're doing regular oil changes. I would like to hear in the comments down below anybody who's been running this 3-litre engine and see how they go on. My good friend James Alford from Platinum Car Centre in Plymouth runs a 3-litre. He, touchwood, hasn't any problems. You will always hear of the ones that have gone. You'll very rarely hear of the ones that haven't been a problem. But we're going to test that fact out. Now, if you didn't see the previous video, you won't know that I paid £12,500 for this 2,607k Range Rover with a retail value of £14,500. Yes, that's a £5,000 margin. My 12.5 did include my auction fees. I actually got the car for £12,000. So it's a 5.5k margin, gross margin before prep. Anybody must understand why a dealer would need that kind of margin across a car like this. The VAT man, of course, on a 5k margin will take almost £1,000 of that margin straight away to him, and we'll get nothing out of that at all. So we're down already on that side of things. And obviously there is just the standard prep of retailing a car. As I said, the plan initially is that I will not be retailing this. We'll be running it daily, see how we get on. So Jamie's one, he overspent, so technically as far as I'm concerned he already lost the challenge because he overspent by 50 quid and then went and picked it up himself, which I don't care what he says, that wasn't free. They would have both, between the two lads, have eaten at least 100 quid's worth of food on the way there and back, and some on fuel. But in the spirit of the game, we're going to continue. So let's have a look at what I got for my money. So as I said, 16 plate 3 litre In the previous video, I showed you how I went online and found its service history up to, I think it was 21 or 22 on the service history kind of thing, with always Range Rover. So it's got full Range Rover history up to about 22. We haven't got any of the invoices for any future service history. You don't tend to get it a lot. Now, this is something that's not been talked about on a lot of these videos. GDPR is now being used as a reason, one, for customers saying they don't want you to have their invoices, and two, for a lot of companies transferring cars between each other to shred them, throw them away. Obviously, you can black names out, but most of them just think safest bet is just shred it. So it's very rare now you're getting cars with a lot of the other paperwork. If it isn't stamped in the service book, you aren't getting the other paperwork. And that going forwards with a lot of, like this one was, a lot of the service history being online on systems that you won't necessarily be able to access, and also people not handing forward the paperwork, I think you're going to find going forward that an awful lot of cars now aren't going to have a lot of service history with them. But we can get around that to a certain extent. We will ring the MOT stations that did the MOTs on this since 2022 and find out if any of them did a service or not. But we're going to do a service on anyway. Now, I don't know if we'll do that straight away because that might be a breach of the rules, although I have got, obviously, £2,500 more margin to play with than Jamie, more in the pot to play with Jamie for the budget we've done. But I don't know whether that'll count in my favour if I spend that money versus getting maybe a few bonus points back for spending less. So what have we got? Like I say, bodywork wise, it is dirty because I've been driving it and I didn't have time to clean it before doing this video. But I think we've got pretty much new discs and pads on the front. They look very new, the discs and pads on the front. We've got loads of tread on the tyre, and the alloy wheel only has some minor curbing. This has got the side steps. I didn't particularly go for the side steps. They're not retractable. They're just static side steps. And I'm not sure how I feel about them. My family's liking them because my daughter finds it easier to get in and out of than the one I had before. It's got the shark gills on, which is nice. They're colour coded. Don't like them when they're chrome up the side. I think it's a bit too garish. We've got tinted rear glass, keyless entry, rear alloys in good condition. Discs and pads don't look brand new on that, but they don't look very old. Loads of tread on the tyre, so no rubber on this side. Paintwork wise, like I say, you'll have to take my word for it. When it's clean, it is really good. Bar just a nice mop just to make it pop a little bit more. Doesn't need anything there paintwork wise at all. My boot lid, unlike Jamie's, if you've seen Jamie's video, which I will link to in this, has a horrible great big gap. Mine lines up nicely, thank you very much. The rear bumper is in good condition. There's no scraping and scratching on that. It's the Vogue SE, so you can get the Vogue, then the Vogue SE, then I think it goes into autobiography and so forth, doesn't it? We need Matt from High Peak Autos on for the expert opinion. We've got rear parking sensors, we've got rear reversing camera. Bodywork down this side is really nice. Again, this is the hedgerow side. I think it's a fairly local car because I got this from BCA in Bristol, so I could do with a bit of a mop there, but nothing's deep. It's just very light stuff in the lack. Again, disc pads look good, tyres look good. All the paintwork along here is really nice. There is no paint needed on the car. Front alloy here hasn't got any curbing on it. That tyre's good as well. So literally it's just a case of mopping it. The paintwork is absolutely blooming lovely on it. This hasn't faded, which often does. And the same thing with the front grills, they can fade, and the lettering can get quite bad. We've only got one letter that's got a bit of oxidisation on it. So looking round it there, it is all good. So let's hop inside. Inside we have the cream leather to offset the blue, which I think looks fantastic. And I said I've been driving this around a bit, and friends and family have said this car is absolutely gorgeous. In fact, my local pub landlord wanted to buy it off me. He absolutely wanted to buy it off me because he just loved the colour combination. My friends have said that is one gorgeous looking car. So yeah, we've got the cream leather to offset the that's from my blood test. What's that doing there? Right, so yeah, we've got the cream leather to offset fully lecky seats. We've got a little bit of wear on the edge of the bolster here. Nothing a bit of cream balm wouldn't probably improve. I haven't cleaned this at all inside. This leather would all do with a good clean. So all the switch gear is nice. It's not worn through, 107,000 miles, and there's no real wear on any of the buttons. It's all pretty good. All the door cards are nice. I've seen some of these with damaged grills and stuff in the past. Again, a little bit of balm there. We just picked up. There's some very small marks. This all just needs to clean down. Obviously, all round lacquer windows, electric mirrors, all that kind of good stuff. Got the Meridian sound system, and say all fully electric seat there. Just excuse Pete in the background doing a bit of machine polishing to get on with some proper work while I'm doing this. We've got the rear reclining seats. So these will actually go forward and backwards and recline. We've got the rear heated seats, the rear air conditioning, And we have a full pan roof on this one as well. Pan roofs, big thing on cars like this. What we also have as well is soft closed doors. Why does everybody want to be noisy around me right now? So if we just do that, see that shutting itself, we've got soft closed doors and they're all working absolutely lovely. Let's get in and close the door a second while Pete's making all that noise. So you've got electric steering column, cruise control, heated steering wheel, Bluetooth, all that kind of good stuff, paddle shift. No, say no real wear on the steering wheel at all. All the switch gear here is nice. We've got the sort of the piano black against the cream, all looks good. We've got the later touch screen in the centre there. All our handbooks are here. Passenger seat leather is beautiful, no marks on that at all. No real marking on any of the here. It's been really nicely looked up. So I bought it with 107 on. I've done nearly 500 miles on this, I think. If I turn it on, it might tell me what my last trip was actually. Or what my trip, yeah, 484 miles is what I've done so far. So I get one warning light when it comes on to tell me there's a bit of low, there's a bit of low tyre pressure in the rear tyre, but that's the spare tyre, sorry. That's the only warning I come on. It idles beautifully. This has been cold, it's been sitting for ages. Idles beautifully. As I say, I've filled up completely. It was about £110 to fill up the tank completely. We'll have a look at what my latest MPGs are because I've been going on the back lanes. So advanced trip. So it hasn't given me one for this journey. My last 3 journeys combined have been 35 to the gallon. Best journey 57. That's the best one in historically. And it does tell you obviously how you're doing overall for your driving. But like I say, I got over 40 miles to the gallon going up to see my friend the other day, but just running around locally I'm getting 35, which is not bad at all. My wife was only getting about 35 out of her 1.6 Fiat 500X, and we only got about 30 out of our 2.4 Volvo. So that is pretty good MPG. All the LCDs all seem to work, the screen seems to work. So we've got, and even got the reversing camera there. And I think if I go rightly, we've got an independent nuclear weapon. Let's turn LBC off. I like to have a good rant to LBC. Never mind all the talk. But LBC doesn't want me. Okay, I keep going to that, don't I? Where is it? Go to that. What's that? That's the. I don't know what the buttons do yet. I'll be honest. I don't know what they will do yet. Where is the media? Oh, so we've got sat nav, obviously. Where is the media? I want to go to the media. No, let's come off that. TV. We got the TV in it and it actually works. He says, and it says no reception. No, I did get TV on. What did I do? I had it working the other day. Touch for full image. Come on, don't let me down now. I just told people you work. No, I can't get reception, but I will tell you that even my mobile phone doesn't get reception here. So, in all fairness to an old digital TV, but I have had that working. TV does work on it as well. Obviously, got DAB radio. I can obviously plug in via USB and play DVDs, and also play DVDs through here. So it's got all the kit you would want. Touchscreen seems to work fine. I say we've got the armrests here. USB connections and all that there. What's that little button there for? I don't know what it does. What's that little button there do? Someone tell me what I just did when I pressed that button, because I don't know what I just did. Did I turn a... Oh, it's a fridge. There we go, fridge. Yes. That's what we need for the Diet Cokes. So that's probably on off for the fridge, isn't it? So it's all really... I mean, the carpets are beautiful. I have got the mats in the back. I haven't put them in yet, which I should do, because I want to wreck the carpets if I don't. But yeah, just idles beautifully. I forget what the performance is on these, but this is quicker than my 3.6 V8 L322. This is definitely quicker. So not only is it doing good fuel economy, it's quicker as well. The pan roof is working as well. Have I got the ignition on? No. So I think if I hold it down, it'll go all the way back, won't it? Yeah. So it goes. I mean, it's going to be absolutely baking in today if I leave this open. All the headline is in beautiful condition. This has not been abused. Only 3 owners, so quite low ownership for one of these. You've got the electric buttons on here to move the seats back and forward. So if you're in the back of the car and you want more leg room, you can actually do it from the back of the car as well. I'm sure some of you know these cars better than me, and you'll be pointing out some features that I've missed. It's got radar cruise control, which worked beautifully on the motorway the other day, adjusting itself. no problem at all. Auto headlights as well for, you know, full beam and low beam, that worked really well. Only a couple of times I needed to do it manually. It picked up on it itself. Obviously memory for the seat positions. So coming to the back, all nice here as well. Only one thing lets it down the back here. Someone's caught the seat. But I imagine I can find a clever guy to do a repair on that if needs be. Have we got any more fridges on it there? What's this big centre armrest in the centre here with cup holders in? Is that anything? No, I don't think so. Carpets back here are lovely as well. Again, I need to put the carpets down to keep it protected. And then we've got the electronic tailgate. So if we hit that button there, that's working as it should. And so is the lower one. We've got all the original fit Land Rover stuff here. All the carpets underneath are lovely. What? Oh, I've upset it by trying to put them both down at the same time. They want to go in order. I'll have a quick look under the bonnet. I should point out as well, the passenger seat's got all the same electrics and memory on it as the driver's has as well. So there probably won't be a lot to see here because obviously they've normally got covers on them, that kind of thing. Hopefully this has got struts on it. No stone chipping across the front of the bonnet. Doesn't seem to spend a lot of its time in those kind of things. Right, so we've not cleaned in here yet, obviously. Now one advantage of this, I would say, over the other engines is how much room you've got at the front if you need to do belts and so forth. It is really dry looking at it. Everything looks good. Looks like it's got some new parts on it, fairly new parts on it, I would say, as well. Yeah, there's just loads of room. So this is the 3 litre V6 that I had in my. I had this in an XF, didn't I? I've had it in a Discovery as well, and it is an incredible engine. I mean, yes, they can be prone to problems. A lot of the time they blow intakes as well. They have plastic intakes. See all this plastic here? So what happens is these are your intake manifolds either side, and this is the pipe that directs it to it. As they get old, they get brittle, and then they crack, and they let boost air in. You get boost codes all the time. And in order to replace them, you have to pull the injectors. When you pull the injectors, you end up having to replace injectors. So it ends up being quite an expensive job. I think there are people that make metal ones to replace them if you need to replace them. But realistically, if you put plastic ones on, they should last again for a good period of time. But that's quite a common thing. Looks like you've got a bit more room to do that in this one though, compared to the other cars I've had. Looks like it would be less of a job to do. So anyway, you want to know how it drives and what faults we get when we drive. So let's go for a spin. So you're going to have to live with the hasty camera position because well, I've lost all my stands and I've lost all my clippy on things. So I've just rammed it in the headrest for the minute, which means you're probably getting low volume as well. So we'll keep the short test drive short. So, firstly, smoothness, super smooth. Gear changes are lovely and smooth. You can't really tell it's changing that often. Steering's lovely and light. No notchiness in the steering, no knocks and bangs from the suspension. Most importantly, no rumbling from my rear differential like a certain young man seems to have on his. It's really quiet in here. Hopefully you can hear me. It's really quiet in here. Brakes pull you up smoothly. They don't pull left or right. Power. She gets up and goes like a good old girl. Although I have been advised with the 3 litres not to do full chat pulls on them because that is one of the things that stresses the crank out on them. The aircon, which I dearly love to have on right now because it's baking in here, but you wouldn't hear me, is absolutely bang on. No problem with the aircon. That blows lovely and cold. And no warning lights on the dash. Nothing on the dash. It all seems to be doing what it should do. The suspension goes up and down as it should as well. One nice feature this has is air conditioned seats as well. It'll blow hot or cold air through the seat itself as well. And as I said, I've put 484 miles on it and it drives blooming lovely. And the reason these things sell, even though they can be very expensive to run, is because nothing touches them for big luxury comfort on the road. If Lexus made something this size, sure, I'd buy a Lexus, but no one does. We really need them to start bringing over the big boy stuff. So yeah, in terms of the drive, and I drive a lot of cars obviously, really cannot fault the drive in any way, shape or form. The things you're looking for is you're looking for big plumes of smoke out the back. When you boot it for your turbos, you're looking for boost lights coming on when you boot it, in case you've got any air leaks or turbo stalling issues. You're looking for any graunching, grinding, rumbling, all those kind of basic suspension and transmission things. And like I say, as far as I'm concerned, in 486 miles of driving, I haven't experienced that on any surface, on any type of driving, be it back lanes, motorways, any of the sort. So in terms of drive, I'm giving it a massive thumbs up. It drives bloody lovely. So sorry about the camera vision there, but you know what it's like around here. It's always a bit crazy. We're always running around actually running a car dealership, just fitting this in between. But as I said, in terms of drive, cannot knock it at all. It drives beautifully. So now we're on to the very final check, the big hurdle to cross, the code read. So the final hurdle, the code read, with the tool that we know we can't do without topped on. These save our lives all the time. So we're going to plug the car in. We're going to read what codes are in it. Now, cars can have codes cleared before they go to auction. Normally they will come back fairly quickly after 2 or 3 runs. The code will come back. I've been out in this car probably 10-20 times now, easily, done lots and lots of miles. If there were any codes cleared, they should have popped up by now. Now, there may well be codes in it, but they might be for inconsequential things. They could be historical ones. They could be relating to electrical systems that on the face of it are working absolutely fine, but there's some code in there. So there'll be a different level of importance to the code we get, but let's plug it in and see what we've got. Now, although you say these things and people always want to tell you you're a liar, only 2% battery, hopefully that's enough. I've genuinely not code read this car at all. Let's close the door. This will be the first code read this car has had if the battery doesn't run out before. Yeah, this will be the first code read this car has had. So whatever comes up is genuinely what is in the car already. So Top Don's found the VIN. Confirm the model of the car. 360 brake horsepower, but 306 brake horsepower, I assume that means. And it's now running it. So we've got a couple of little codes coming up so far. Obviously, engine ones are more of a concern than any of the sort of these electrical gubbins type stuff. What does that button do, by the way? Can someone tell me what that button does? I haven't looked it up yet. We're getting a lot of greens there. We've got one about SRS, one about chassis control, one about connect and view module, driver seat module. So these are the type of things I'm talking about which don't really worry me. Always have an HVAC. I never have a car that doesn't have an HVAC one. Passenger seat module, TV module. So we don't seem to have anything in engine at all. Anything in transmission, anything in anti-lock brakes. Let's have a look at this one. Left side airbag deployment control. Count 1. I want to see if that one clears or not. See if that's historical, because we've got no airbag lights on the dashboard at all. Unless that's telling us it was deployed at a previous point. Temperature sensor. That could, we'll see if that clears or not. It's a U code. See, it says it's a U code. That leads me to believe that might have been when a battery was low at some point. So that might well clear that one. They're normally in the wing mirrors, the temperature sensors, so they're quite easy to replace. I mean, we'll have a look at this to see what it says. High-speed CAN bus control module microprocessor. I mean, some of the, obviously the car's driving fine. I mean, the main thing for me, like I say, is nothing in the engine. So let's clear these and see which ones come back. Some were U codes, which are relating to low batteries normally. Now they did all clear. Any stayed there? No, they've all cleared. So let's turn the car off, turn it back on again. Like I said, there was never anything on a dash, was there? Which just shows you that, you know, a lot of these codes just sit in the system. And let's go back. Yes, end it. And we'll go again. Obviously, might need a drive for some of those to come back, but like I said, I think a few of them were either historical or U codes. So it's going to run through again. I imagine if we do something like try and use the telly again, and if the telly isn't working, then we might get another code. Report. Nothing at all in there anymore. It is happy to clear all of those. Well, I am taking that as a win on a car this complex and known to be prone for problems. I'll probably end up regretting saying this, but I'm going to take that as a win. So, the important question: why was this car part exchange? You always want to know, why did someone get out of the car? What was the reason? And I have to say, at this point in time, I don't know. People like to say, oh, perhaps they just fancied a change of car. Perhaps they did. Perhaps they minted. Perhaps they got themselves and got a newer Range Rover, or perhaps they just couldn't afford to run this anymore, or they needed something ULEZ. I don't know if this is ULEZ. There's lots of reasons why someone could genuinely part exchange a car. It's just in this game, 9 times out of 10, people dump cars. They dump cars on you that have faults. But you normally find them fairly quickly. After just taking a couple of drives out, the issue arises. So perhaps we just got lucky. And we just did find a car someone fancied changing. So let me know down below in the comments what you think of my buy versus Jamie. If you haven't seen his video, go and check it out now. And the next stage is to arrange a meetup with Jamie at the specialist to decide who's bought the best one. I think we're going to work off a point system. I think he should get quite a lot of deductions for overspending. Then I think I should get bonus points for underspending. Then I think price versus the retail value should get us some extra points. And then I think obviously the specialist report should carry quite a lot of weight. And let me know if you think there should be any other criteria I forgot to include there. As always, massive thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.